Austin Metcalf versus Karmelo Anthony. The real story behind bullying, Stand Your Ground, and the autopsy that changed everything. This story involves sensitive themes, including bullying, racial bias, youth trauma, and controversial legal implications involving minors. These events have stirred strong emotions and public reactions, particularly in communities of color. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. When the tables turn and the victim finally stands up, who gets the sympathy? Who gets the headlines? And who gets forgotten? The world rushed to grieve Austin Metcalf, calling him a victim, a good kid, a life taken too soon. But no one wanted to hear about Karmelo Anthony, the teenager who had allegedly endured bullying at the hands of Austin and finally decided he wasn't going to take it anymore. Then came the autopsy, and suddenly the whole narrative cracked wide open. This isn't just a story about two boys. It's a story about racism, protection, perception, and who gets to be human in America. Family, before we go any deeper into this conversation, make sure you're connected with me everywhere. LifePointsWithRonda.com, YouTube, LifePoints. With Ronda 2968, podcast. Life Points with Ronda on every platform. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Patreon. Life Points with Ronda, Life Points with rondagmail.com. This story is one of many we'll keep telling. Truthfully, fearlessly, and lovingly. Who was Austin Metcalf? Beyond the headlines. Austin Metcalf was what many people call the golden boy, at least on the surface. He was white, athletic, attractive by conventional standards, and had a strong social presence in school. His photos portrayed confidence. His smile was sharp. His name sat comfortably in the mouths of teachers, classmates, and community members. But here's the truth that's emerging from the silence. Austin was popular, and he knew it. And with that popularity came power. Students who've since spoken up described him as the kind of person who made you feel less than if you didn't fit the mold. According to posts and comments from people who knew him personally, Austin was allegedly a serial bully, someone who verbally taunted students, physically intimidated those he saw as weak, and used his social standing as a shield against accountability. People have said he'd make a joke out of you in front of the whole class, and that he knew just how to humiliate without getting in trouble. He allegedly pushed boundaries until people broke, all while being seen as the charming, charismatic kid by adults. Let's be honest, that's not rare. So many kids like Austin are protected by the illusion of goodness. They smile in public and destroy people in private. Not because they're born bad, but because no one ever holds them accountable. And the deeper tragedy is that Austin may never have been forced to confront the harm he caused until he picked on the wrong one. Who is Karmelo Anthony, and why we must say his name? Karmelo Anthony is not the basketball player. He is a black teenager, a quiet one, a vulnerable one, a survivor. He's not the face the media showed first. He's not the one with a GoFundMe link posted everywhere. He didn't have $1 million smile plastered across TikTok. Instead, he had fear. He had silence. He had pain. According to students and sources, Karmelo was one of the many kids targeted by Austin's behavior. He was smaller, less popular, and perhaps more sensitive. The kind of child who didn't walk into school with a crew around him or confidence on his shoulders. He walked in quietly, carefully, hoping to make it through the day without being seen by the wrong eyes. Austin saw him. Karmelo didn't fight back at first. He internalized. He may have reported it. He may have cried alone. But on that day, the day everything changed, he snapped. Not because he was dangerous. Not because he was violent. Because he was tired. Imagine being a black boy in America, already marked as a threat simply for existing, and still trying to shrink yourself smaller and smaller to avoid conflict, only for the conflict to find you. He allegedly defended himself, and now he's the one being criminalized in the court of public opinion. Let's not forget, Karmelo Anthony is also a child, a human, a son, yet he's been treated like a criminal from the moment this story broke. Austin's demise and the truth revealed. The world was told Karmelo caused Austin's death, that he ended someone's life during a physical fight. But the autopsy told a different story. Austin overdosed. The confrontation didn't kill him. Allegedly, substances in his system led to his passing. That single revelation should have changed everything. But it didn't, because by the time facts came out, the court of public opinion had already chosen sides, and Karmelo had already been painted as the villain. Austin was immortalized as a good kid gone too soon. But what does that make Karmelo? Alive and hated for it. Who gets to be innocent? When a white teen bullies others and dies after one of his victims fights back, the world says he was just a kid. When a black teen defends himself from bullying and survives, the world says he must be dangerous. This is the double standard that kills black boys emotionally, socially, and sometimes physically. Karmelo didn't just survive Austin. He is now fighting an entire public perception, a silence from mainstream outlets, and racism that seeps through every tweet, post, and headline. Comparison. Austin and Karmelo, the two boys the world never equally saw. When we look at how Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony have been treated in public discourse, the contrast is heartbreaking and revealing. Austin was immediately given a sympathetic public image, described as innocent, popular, and a good kid. The media and community responded with support, flooding the internet with GoFundMe donations, memorial posts, and tributes. Despite reports from peers that Austin allegedly bullied others, the narrative focused only on his potential and promise. He was white, socially powerful, and positioned as a victim before any full investigation had even begun. Karmelo Anthony, on the other hand, received almost no support. He wasn't memorialized or protected. He was criminalized. Instead of being seen as a child who may have been bullied and finally stood up for himself, he was cast as the other one, often villainized on social media. He is black, quiet, and lacked the same social privilege or visibility as Austin. There were no viral GoFundMe pages or widespread calls for emotional healing in his name. Only racist commentary and silence from mainstream media. Even after the autopsy report revealed that Austin's death was due to an overdose and not caused by the physical altercation, the bias didn't shift. The truth didn't clear Karmelo's name in the eyes of those who had already decided his worth based on skin color and social perception. Karmelo is still here, still a child, and still in need of compassion. But he's being treated like a threat, not a survivor. Closing reflection. Who gets to be a child? Who gets to be heard? As we sit with the reality of this story, we have to ask ourselves some uncomfortable but necessary questions. Not just about what happened between Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony, but about the systems, biases, and emotional blind spots that shaped every part of this tragedy. Who gets to be a child in this country? When Austin Metcalf's story was shared, he was given a gentle lens. He was mourned immediately. He was memorialized. His flaws were erased. The same public that often rushes to label Black and brown youth as aggressive or dangerous turned Austin into a symbol of innocence, without ever asking who he might have hurt in the process. But when Karmelo Anthony stood up, not with malice, but with desperation, the world didn't ask what he'd been through. The world didn't ask if he was okay. The world didn't ask how many days he walked into that school afraid. Instead, it asked, why didn't he stay silent? Why didn't he just take it? And that's the heartbreak. Karmelo Anthony is a teenager, a son, a student, a human being. He's not a monster. He's not a villain. He's a child who was trying to survive something that no one was helping him navigate. And yet, he has been treated as disposable, not just by strangers, but by the system. The truth is, we live in a world that still decides someone's worth and someone's innocence based on the color of their skin, the tone of their voice, the social circles they belong to, and how palatable their pain is to the public. And if we're honest, we know that if Karmelo were white, this would be a different conversation. He'd be on morning talk shows. He'd be offered therapy. He'd be humanized. But because he's Black, he's criminalized. Because he fought back, he's vilified. Because he lived, he's hated. That's not justice. That's a reflection of how deep our brokenness runs. So what do we do now? We teach our children not just to walk away, but to speak up. We raise our voices when systems fail kids like Karmelo. We stop blindly glorifying one child while demonizing another. We hold space for grief and accountability. We say Karmelo's name with love, with reverence, and with the same compassion the world offered Austin. We stop choosing silence because it's easy. We stop being complicit in narratives that erase the truth just because it makes us uncomfortable. Because this isn't just a story about two boys in a hallway. This is a story about all of us. Our prejudices, our parenting, our public reactions, our silence, and our willingness or unwillingness to see every child as sacred. Let us never again allow a Black child's pain to go unheard. Let us never again ignore the quiet child sitting alone in a lunchroom. Let us be better, not just in our words, but in how we show up, how we advocate, and how we love. Say his name, Karmelo Anthony. Say it for every child who was bullied and believed no one would come for them. Say it because he matters. He survived, and he deserves to be seen. Family, if this message resonated with you, please share this episode. Let's amplify the voices that don't get heard. Let's say Karmelo's name. Let's build a world where our children are protected not punished, for surviving. Life Points with Ronda.com, YouTube. Life Points with Ronda 2968, podcast. Life Points with Ronda Life Points with Ronda.gmail.com. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Patreon. Life Points with Ronda. Stay aware, stay conscious, and above all, stay phenomenal. Thank you for watching. If you found value in today's video, I invite you to take your journey even further with my podcast, Life Points with Ronda, where we dive deep into relationships, personal growth, and the wisdom that helps you thrive. Tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all major streaming platforms for powerful insights that can transform your life. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more uplifting content like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. Stay connected with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon. Life Points with Ronda. Visit my website at lifepointswithronda.com for exclusive content, coaching, and more. Thank you for your support. Until next time, take care and stay phenomenal.